Do you think students should be taught politics as a compulsory subject in schools?
The reality is they probably already are taught politics. I've spoken to students who have told me that if they say that they're UKIP supporters, in their schools or universities, they get castigated by their colleagues and teachers. So the reality is there's an indoctrination going on in favour of the mainstream political parties at the moment, and I think that people should be able to find their own way politically. They shouldn't be indoctrinated by educational institutions.
I think in some places a subject called civics has been taught. I think people should know how the country runs. That would be a really useful thing. Know where their taxes go, what public services the government provides. So it would be really good if people did understand how it works, what's good about the system we have, what's bad about it. Then it means that people, when they've got an issue with a pothole or a street light, they know to talk to their local councillor, for example. If it's an issue with a bill going through Westminster, it's the local MP. If it's an issue in the Assembly, then they could contact their Assembly member. I think the more people know how the system works, the better informed they can be when they make their choice, hopefully to vote, and the better able they feel to get involved, which can only be a good thing.
Oh, hugely, yeah. I think we have a huge issue with the general public, and I think starting at a young age is the way to do that. People don't know the difference between a councillor, between an assembly member, between an MP, between an MEP, doesn't know what the different roles are. They don't know what difference they can make, what they can affect. And so we need to be teaching all of this from a younger age so that young people get engaged, because this makes a massive difference. We're sitting in Newport, the home of the Chartist movement, that really sort of made a massive change to the way politics works in this country. And it's so important that those lives that were lost fighting for this sort of thing aren't completely ignored. And so yes, we've got to get it into that national curriculum. We've got to start making a difference from a younger age so that people want to get engaged.
I think there's a really good case for that. Labour has said that we need to beef up the teaching of civics and how you engage in democracy in our schools. That's already something that has just recently been talked about within Wales in respect of the Donaldson review of the curriculum. But I think we will need to go further. I think we need to look at precisely how we educate young people to allow them to take part in the democratic process. It frightens me that I will very often knock on doors across Wales, and if a young person, very often I think young women in particular, come to the door, I find that they are disengaged, not voting, and even more concerning sometimes, unaware as to how they go about voting. So disengaged are they. So we do need to work harder, but also young people need to take responsibility themselves to educate themselves and to play their part in our society.
Yes, I think they should. The Green Party wants to reduce the voting age to 16. I don't think, certainly when I left school, I didn't have a particularly good idea of what the political party stood for. So, yes, I think it's absolutely compulsory. They should understand what it is, the various political philosophies, and what it is they're being asked to vote for.